Alright guys, so the Altis Delta, an actual little ride and review talk here. So last week kind of just talked about a lot of this bike and unboxed it. I didn't really put a whole lot of like riding time on it. So this is with a little more ride time and play time. Yeah, as you can see, man, this bike honestly just doesn't disappoint. I know I complained about the modes. I've just stayed in mode 3. I still do wish I had some tuning to go to mode 2 without being delayed. I've talked with some other people about the delay, and some guys are like, yeah, it's dangerous. Some people are like, I kind of like it. Some people are like, I didn't notice till you said it. But needless to say, if you leave it in mode 3, I mean, it is just aggressive as hell. So like I mentioned, we've been taking this thing around. I haven't done like a full-on one-ride range test, but I used it how I usually do, dailying these things, playing around in places like this, going to the post office. And I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed. The range, I think I got about 20 to 25 miles. And that's kind of depending on, you know, if like I said, I've been in mode 3 a lot. So I am eating power. It's hard not to just eat the dirt and, you know, hit rolling burnouts. So I think this bike is capable of the 20 to probably like 30, 35 mile range, depending on how you're riding it. I'm also 200 pounds. So obviously that has a factor. All right, through the sand, pretty aggressive. Guys, again, I want to show you guys the aggressive power this thing has, because it is crazy. Right here, last week I actually went over my bars and toppled this thing. It went like end over end, doing exactly that. But it actually like held up really good, so pretty impressive. So I actually did do a little bit of like a race with my buddy Marcos. We had the Altis Sigma versus the Delta, and we actually could not believe how close this thing took off with the Sigma. I was in sport mode, one lower than race mode with the Sigma, but to be fair, I've never actually used the Sigma in race mode. I've only used it in sport because it's so aggressive even with sport mode. So just an idea of the insane power. You know, this bike in mode 3 is no joke. Oof. That was hard on my tire. I should have put air in that thing. So like I said, range, I think it's gonna obviously, like always, depend on how you're riding and where you're riding, how much you weigh, a lot of factors. But on average, I think from like 20 to even a good 35 miles, really. I mean, if you're in eco mode, you'd probably get more. Unfortunately, eco tops out at like 16 miles an hour, which is kind of legal for the trail, so I can see that. All right, boys, there it is. I think I overdrew my battery 11%. We got air code. I'm almost home. All right, so sometimes with electric bikes, basically you have a cutout point. When you start cracking the throttle really low on power, you have volt sag, where your volts sag down. Now that's going to trigger an alarm in your controller, typically, where we have our undervoltage set. So that cutout there is something to tell me, hey, turn the bike on and off, get your butt home slow in mode 1, because we're at that fine line where we're cutting too much power and turning our bike off. So if you didn't know, it's kind of a, you know, that's part of a downfall with electric bikes, I would have to say. But yeah, you know, uphill is drawing more amps, and being higher modes, twisting higher throttles, drawing more amps, can cut your power. So there, we cut the power. I knew I'd do it because I just know I can feel the lines we're at. So we're gonna call it 11% right there. I think I've put on about 25 miles. So there we have it, 25 miles on the Delta. I think that's a pretty average riding. I've been doing higher modes and lower modes, but yeah, basically that's where you're going to be cut out at. It's kind of a decent little hill climb. Let's kind of see how we do here. Just lightning, man, just lightning. I don't know if I'll make up that loose stuff. Again, I want to mention the size of this thing. I'm 6'3", and I can't believe how good and well I fit on this. Along with how good my wife fits on it. I know there's a lot of talk of like part of the downfall, like I even talked about with this bike, is 160 pounds, where with the Arctic Leopard we saw 160 pounds with a full-size bike, 7255 AH. So it's like, why is it so heavy? Well, sometimes heavy is kind of a good thing. It feels planted. I don't feel like a bad thing. Whoa, we're surfing. So as far as playing around right now, we have went down about 10%. Again, mode 3, eating power, dirt, loose dirt, heavy me, eating power. So this kind of playing, I think you're gonna see closer to that 20 miles. Now, something I forgot or didn't notice to mention on the last one is the suspension isn't full suspension. This one is false, which I haven't actually touched the suspension. We're riding it stock again. I'm just at the top of this bike's weight limit, but with jumping it and playing around, honestly, it's been handling really well for me. We found a little jump here. I played on for a little bit. Again, I'm not a good jumper, but I was having fun and it was taking my weight good. Another thing I want to say with the size is where I was playing around doing those stoppies and I went over the bars. Normally that would have been more of something I probably wouldn't have been playing the way I was. As well as if I did go over the bars, I probably wouldn't have gotten out of it scotch-free like I did. So with the smaller platform that's not mini, hitting my knees on the bars mini, but good size mini, I was able to bail out of there a little bit easier, which for me, I am going on 33, about to have my first child. So that kind of helps keep me in a little bit of a safety net, if you will. Woo! Hey guys, it's just a lot of loose dirt, so you know, if you don't realize, like, eating loose dirt takes more power, but this thing is just powering through it like nothing. There she's down again. Same side. I'm sorry. That's what I get for goofing around. So now's a good time to say I'm Cole. If you guys enjoy this kind of content, hit that like and subscribe button. It helps my channel tremendously. I do try to really test these bikes. I try to not really baby it, but you know, treat it like I've treated my dirt bikes for years. Woo! This thing is just an animal. Not to mention the aggressive dirt tires that come on this thing is... Do a little drop. Ooh! That was bottomed out for sure. This thing's insane, dude. Oh my God. Jesus, man, lightning. It's like lightning. I was tempted. So another thing I want to talk about really quick is I know all you RTR guys are going to be like, oh my gosh, the RTR Pro or whatever is so powerful and coming out. Well, I'm pretty sure it's still not waterproof. So to me, it just doesn't even count. It's still just a Razor, which we have 20,000 watt Razor build. So if you're into that kind of thing, check that out on the channel as well. RTRs are cool, but to me, just doesn't match up to these because it's not really matching the IP67 waterproof rating, which is something that I am concerned about because I'm taking this in the mountains, camping, getting rained on, watching it off, all that good stuff. Bumped myself into low right there. That was sketchy. That is something that can be dangerous with these E-Motos, is like if the mode switch is easy to bump, like that's super dangerous. Not that this one is. That was kind of a weird movement I got into. What fun! My lord, that's fun. That was really fun, actually. Oh my god, dude. Just me and my electric dirt bike. You guys can't tell, this thing's steep, man. Sheesh, just powers right up it. Ooh. If you guys are looking to purchase, we do have a $100 discount code from Hyperrides. That's my trusted dealer where I always order all my bikes from, always have. Go ahead and use that discount code. I think they're one of the cheapest, most affordable companies out there to get it from. Jay's awesome. All right, gang, I think that's kind of going to conclude this video. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions or anything like that. Always here for you guys, and thanks for hanging out. Peace. Boing, 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 boing.